guys, so today's 7 on Sunday. I feel like the sun potentially could get really bad, but it's behind a cloud right now, but the glare is strong. Like, I look illuminated quite nicely, but I hope just stay there, let me film. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. But guys, I'm very excited because for today's video, we're going to be talking about books that we want to see Netflix shows for, because after the success of Shadow and Bone, and we just got announcements today that there's going to be a season 2, very excited about that. But also, where is my Julie and the Phantoms announcement? I'm still mad that it's been 7 months and we've just had radio silence. I'm never not going to be angry about this. Like, at least if it's cancelled, just let me know so I can stop hoping for it. But I'm excited to talk about this. I don't know if these books would ever become Netflix shows. I think I've got a pretty good list and all pretty good reasons why I think these should become Netflix shows, because some books would work just as fine as movies, but TV shows are always better because you get so much more detail. But I'm so excited for this topic, so let's get into it. I know that ACOTAR is going to become a TV show, but I don't even know how I'm going to watch it because it's not actually going to be on Netflix. But I also kind of think that House of Earth and Blood would actually be a better book to make an adaptation of, because there's just so much more source material, and for the fact that in this world, obviously it's a different world than ours and it's a fantasy novel, obviously, so it's kind of like a high fantasy, but in this book they have evolved in the way that we've evolved, that they now have mobile phones and the internet and a lot of the same things that we have, but they've evolved in a completely different world where there's also so many different species, and there's fae and there's werewolves and there's mermaids, and like, that would be interesting enough on its own. But I think the way that they could do this show is obviously the whole mystery of the novel and the way that the story revolves can be the main plot. But they can also do kind of like the buddy cop situation where Hunt and Bryce could be going off, you know, doing cases every week. And even though it is a standard thing where it's like the monster of the week, and it does get annoying in shows like The X-Files, but I don't mind it in shows like Lucifer, where even though there's a grand story arc, they still have cases of people that have been murdered that they've got to figure out the cases. I feel like it could be really investing, and even though Hunt isn't really like a police officer, I think it could just be really interesting that they have to deal with different things like that, and Bryce is just like fully in there, and even though it's not exactly the same as the story, I wouldn't mind it, and I think it could be quite interesting. And then obviously have the bombshell of what happens in this book become a big thing, but I think it could go really, really well. The next book I think would make a great show is Lady Helen and the Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman, because after the success of Bridgerton, I think that they totally could use the source material here of it being like the Victorian era, but then add demon hunting, and I think you could have a very exciting show, because I feel that they could go all out of having it really historically accurate of the places they go, the outfits they wear, the propriety, because that is the really hard thing, is she is stuck so much because she's a woman, she's not married, and she can't go anywhere without like a guardian, and everything is really hard. But I think it could be a very fun show to also see like such good character development, but also see her training to fight demons and having to deal with things. And again, the propriety would be so exciting. I feel like this could really hit off if it was a show, but sadly, because it's not really the most popular story out there, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but it would still be so cool. The next book that I would love to see get made into a TV show is Illuminae by Amy Coffin and Jay Kristoff. For one, the source material is so exciting in itself that they could literally do anything with this show, but I just think it would just be such a thrilling and fun time to have this show, and maybe even bring the characters from books 2 and 3 closer in the story, so they're all kind of dealing with these things differently, and have all the storylines like bouncing off each other, and it would just be such an interesting, like, you know, space opera, and they could really extend the stories and make them a lot longer, and hopefully have like a lot of different things happening. But I just think the way that this could be like such an interesting and like visually stunning show would just be really, really cool. I'm just putting The Night Circus in there by Erin Morgenstern because it's my absolute favorite #1 top book of all time, and I definitely think that you could do a really cool story with this, but I don't know how, because like obviously the battle between Celia and Marco is a very interesting storyline, but I also think how visually stunning the circus atmosphere and the circus idea would be, and then introducing Bailey's story. Like, you could make a show, but maybe like a 1-season show, like a mini series or a limited edition series could be made for the Night Circus, and I don't care how long it takes, I just need to see this on the screen. People are in my house, so I need to like film quickly now. But the next book I would love to see is Renegades, just because superheroes are so investing and so much fun, and I definitely think the idea of having the main character undercover but then also have the main guy character have his own secrets, so it's all about the secrets, but then they can be going out and like doing cases. Like, I don't know why I'm so invested in the idea of the characters just going out and doing cases, because I find that when it's a TV show they have to have something that can fill it up sometimes, and even though Renegades is a really cool idea, I definitely think that you could fill it up with them just going out and doing missions and then making friends and then having Nova like getting intel and just all the different characters that are a part of this story. Like, it would just be really, really cool. Like, I could so see this being an amazing TV show, and like, you know, the season finals would be just like flipping off the edge and all the kind of shit would be happening, and I would be so invested. Now, something that I would most definitely love to see made into a TV show is Skype by Neil Shusterman, because it's such an interesting concept and I've never read anything like this before, and I think this would be a really cool dystopian TV show because they could do so many episodes about the history and then have it that, you know, seeing the different like versions of the new orders of Skype and the old order and the way that people want to change things, but also have the training of Rowan and Citra. Like, there are so many elements that could be done in this so well, and I would enjoy it profusely to see this. Like, I just like, I would love to see any type of adaptation for Skype, because again, it's just like such a mind-blowing book that like I would just love to see the way that someone would try to write this for like screen, and just like I would just love it. Like, I'm so excited. Like, even though it's not happening, it would be amazing. And the last book I want to mention is Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I know this is a really random one to throw out there, but this is a book about dissecting timelines where she makes one decision and we see both decisions and the outcomes of those decisions. So how cool would it be to see this in TV form, because you'd be seeing her jumping between the two decisions, seeing when something happens in one timeline that hasn't happened in the other one, and vice versa. And when you know things, and you can just be yelling at your screen like, oh my god, this has happened, but you don't know about it yet. Like, it would be so cool, and to see it expanded on as well, like, because there are so many different things that they could do. And I don't even care if they add like so much more content to it, because this book was one of my favorites. I really enjoyed it. It's like honestly my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book, because it's such an interesting concept and very sliding doors, which already got made into a movie. But I just think that this would be really, really cool, and I would just love to see it. And I also would love to see Henry become a character, because he's honestly such a sweet little boy. I love him so much. I just like shows that take place over different timelines, but also storylines, and you know, like, it would be really cool. Like, honestly, if all these books got made into TV shows at the same time, I would have so much TV show watching I'd need to binge. So like, if any of this gets made ever, I would be so excited and so thankful, but you never know. So guys, that is all for today's 7 on Sunday. I liked this topic a lot. This was a really fun topic, and it was really fun trying to like think of answers, and I hope you enjoyed. And like, please let me know if you agree with me on these TV shows, and like come and have a conversation with me, because I'm just excited now. I want this to happen, but I don't know if it's going to. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!